Hey, it's the Disney World Dad, and I'm bringing you the ultimate guide and walkthrough review that you will need of Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort. I'm here at the resort in the spring section, and I want to talk all about this sprawling, unique Disney Vacation Club resort that is located next to Disney Springs. This resort is unique in that it has an interesting history. Like I said, it's a DVC resort. There are a lot of things to do, and it is very spread out, so your experience may vary depending on where you stay. So I'm going to show you all of the main things to do. I'm going to show you all of the pools. I'm going to show you all of the places to eat and all of the things to do with or without kids in this very sprawling resort. Let's get into it. The Saratoga Springs is spread out amongst 5 different areas. That is the Grandstand, the Carousel, the Springs, which you're looking at right now, the Paddock, and Congress Park, which is going to be closest to Disney Springs. The main entry into the resort is actually in this direction, and it's also the same entrance as the golf course here in this area. So facing the other direction, and probably the most notable sign here at Saratoga Springs, you will see the main amenities and things to do. Right here is horsing around rentals for Surrey bikes and other outdoor activities you might need. There are a lot of activities around, like I said, this sprawling resort. So there's Disney Fit Yoga, other fitness things. I travel with my family, so I really appreciate those types of activities. Measurements for whether you can pedal the Surrey bikes. Hours of operation, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Prices, bikes, Surrey bikes, all things you might need. So just next door is the community hall. If you are not familiar, there are community halls located at Disney Vacation Club resorts. There's a video rental and video return. Yes, you could still do videos here. Let's check it out. All right, here's a look at the community hall. It's actually really empty right now. We normally take advantage of these activities with our kids, and we'll probably be here later today or tomorrow. You got board game rentals, other sport rentals. There's a resort scavenger hunt, more family wellness stuff. Mickey tie-dye on select days, an animator class. Now that is cool. Learn how to draw animated characters. There's golf. Disney's Lake Buena Vista Golf Course is just next door. So yeah, that's a huge, these are the movies under the stars, what time they start, where you can watch them on the High Rock Spring pool deck. I will show you that right now. Just behind me is the Springs section of where the villas are. So the villas are separated by all those different names I said earlier. The Springs are going to get you closest to the main amenities. I'm kind of taking a sort of roundabout way to get there because so many things to do were actually in the area that I was standing in when I started this review. But we requested a preferred room and we were placed in the Springs, and so far we are very happy due to our proximity to Congress Park, which is very close to Disney Springs, and I will show you that, and also our proximity to all of the amenities. So here, just on the other side of the community hall, there is a courtyard here next to the arcade, next to the pool, and then getting closer to the actual entrance of the resort. So let me show you that. The other view, the community hall, is just in there. That's where I was at. There are some laundry facilities right here. There is an arcade just in that building. I will show you more of that. Oh, it is currently closed right now. Here are the normal operating hours. But yeah, typical arcade here at Disney. We love exploring the arcades at the resort. There are these nice fountains right here. And then in this, there's the Senses Spa. It has been closed for a few years since the COVID era, and it's also still not open, and there is no word on when it's going to reopen. And then the nicest fitness center I have seen in a Disney resort is up there. I could show you that in a minute. Here is a look at the fitness center at Saratoga Springs. This is by far the largest fitness center I've seen across Walt Disney World resorts. Please let me know if you've seen a bigger one. But yeah, if you're looking to do a workout, there are plenty of stations and machines for you to get that done on your vacation. Another cool thing about this resort is that there are some Disney Vacation Club offices here. They have a preview center. And so if you're interested in DVC, you can come over here, poke around. But what I mean by that is tour amenities and whatnot. We have not actually done that just yet since we've been here, but we have gone inside and really liked it because there is a really beautiful rotunda. I will show you right now it's of stained glass of all the different theme park castles around the world. It's something really cool, and I've seen people upload that in videos about Saratoga Springs, but they haven't specified where it is. It is right here, and I will show you. All right, there's the exterior. It says Disney Vacation Club Preview Center. More places to preview right here, and just to your left is the spring section of the resort villas that I was just at earlier. Just beyond a front desk, you will be able to find these beautiful stained glass windows that represent every single castle at the theme parks across the Disney World parks around the world. And I think this is a really nice touch and something you should definitely see if you come to Saratoga Springs. There are some sports courts and things to do over there. All right, let's head back this way to the main area so I can show you the lobby. So from the fitness center, you walk in this direction in between High Rock Spring Pool, and you will run into the Turf Club Bar and Grill and the Artist Palette. It's two of the dining options here in the Springs area. It's referred to as the Carriage House, the main entrance. This area is also called the Springs, and there also is an area of villas right across the street from this area that's also called the Springs. So it's several naming things to sort of think about, but it's all referring to the same area. All right, here's the Artist Palette. And there's a cool statue over there, and there's a carriage in that direction. I will show you all that after we take a look at the Artist Palette. Behind me here is High Rock Spring Pool. It is the main pool here at Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort. Right here is a water slide that has a 128-foot slide built into the rock. Further behind me, there are two spa pools. Just over here to the left, you will see a Donald Duck kids play area. And then further in the distance is a zero entry pool. And there are other pools around the resort that I will also show you, but this is next to the Carriage House, if I didn't say that earlier. Make sure to check out On the Rocks, the pool bar at the High Rock Spring Pool, offering drinks but no food, so keep that in mind when you visit. And here's a look at the Donald Duck Kiddie Fountain. Just to your left is a small slide that the kids can enjoy too. All right, so this is the quick service dining location, notable for these shiny light fixtures here. But yeah, it is decent sized. There's seating on both ends. Yeah, this is the main quick service location here at this resort. From here you can get your typical items that you can order, sort of grab and go items, beverage station for your refillable mugs. Mobile order pickup is just in that direction. More things to grab and go. Things that to order here are displayed on those menus above. If you're not mobile ordering, you actually order here. You don't pick them up from the windows here. You check what you want. There are menus available up here. Then you order them here, and then you go at your table and you wait for them to bring it out to you, which I think is unique because a lot of other quick service locations, they sort of give it to you when you're there already. So just a heads up next time you're here in terms of how the process works. The Artist Palette shares space with the gift shop. Got a lot of Halloween merch out for the season. This is in October 2024. There is DVC member merchandise over here. There is a few Saratoga Springs specific things here. Not much. Typical things you'd find around the resorts. But yeah, I'm a little surprised by the size of this gift shop. I feel like for the size of this resort, it would actually be bigger. It doesn't seem to have its own dedicated name or anything. It's just you find the Artist Palette, and right next to it is the gift shop. Okay, so on the far side of the Artist Palette, away from the gift shop, is the entrance to the Turf Club Bar and Grill. It's also a separate entrance right here. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but I will when I get into a brief history of the resort. But in its current form, it is themed to Saratoga Springs in upstate New York, with a very equestrian and horse racing theme that is prevalent throughout. Right, so we can continue down this hall. Oh look, that one's Disney themed. Here is the entrance to the Turf Club Bar and Grill. All right, here is the lounge area. Nice and empty. But yeah, see, notice the horse racing theme. You could play pool over here. Lots of seating area, and this is surprisingly empty for this time of day. Got some TVs you could watch and a nice view towards the golf course and of Disney Springs. Okay, that explains why it's empty. Just a look at how the Turf Club looks. There's an awesome outdoor seating area where you can see the golf course and Disney Springs area. But yeah, if you're looking for something a little more unique at a Disney resort, try this place out. So on the other end from the Turf Club is the other entrance to the Artist Palette there behind me. There are some restrooms in this direction, and there are also some places to sit. a DVC desk right there, some water fountains, really important. And now I'm making my way towards the main lobby entrance. So let's see how that looks. All right, so check this place out. It is pretty sweeping. And like I said, it is themed to Saratoga Springs, which is home to a very famous horse racing track. And so here you will notice the horse theme dedicated art. There's Barry Pegasus, that's one of my favorites, all the way throughout the lobby. So these are the check-in desks and all the different horses. Go up, really high ceiling. Kind of reminds me of the boardwalk meets, I'm not sure, I'm still thinking of what else it reminds me of, but it's a combination of the boardwalk and something else in terms of the decor. Here is the typical place where the kids will sit and watch their shows during check-in or just to have some fun. Just wanted to get a good look at some frou-frou representation. That is important. And here is some more. All right. And there's another seating area over here. That direction is the artist palette that I had just come from. All right, in this seating area, you can get your resort map, some theme park maps. And here's just a look of some of the other art around the resort. So let's actually go outside of the lobby and let me show you more of the actual entrance to the resort. I got that Disney scent going strong in that little walkway. All right, let me show you this carriage over here. Just off the lobby entrance is this really cool carriage. Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. There is the High Rock Spring Pool, entrance to the artist palette. Just off the lobby is this Winner's Circle statue. Good photo opportunity. There's the pool. There's the entrance to the artist palette. That's where the other side is where the turf club's at. And there's the main lobby, also referred to as the Carriage House. And as I say it, I finally see the sign. So when people say the Carriage House, they mean the lobby in the Springs area of Disney Saratoga Springs Resort. Okay, so just behind me is the main entrance to the resort and to the Carriage House. That's where you can see the turf club. That's where you can find the lobby. That's where you can find the artist palette and the High Rock Springs pool. So this is where a lot of the main things to do here at Disney Saratoga Springs can be located. I want to show you this because this is where you will enter from if you come by Mears Transportation from the airport, if you come in your own vehicle, perhaps to check in if you can't go directly to your room just yet, or if you take a rideshare option. Now, I thought about starting my resort review from this area because it's sort of the entrance, but I think that getting a sense of the Carriage House and the Springs area is really important because that's sort of the center of the resort. Now, if this resort seems a little interesting to you in terms of its architecture or its look, or if it for some reason fails to have some sort of iconography, like let's say the Grand Ceremonial House with the Polynesian, or the contemporary A-frame with the monorail, or even the Riviera, if it's hard to sort of pinpoint what this resort looks like, there is a reason. And let me tell you just a brief history about Saratoga Springs. This resort actually opened as the Village Resort back in 1985. After operating for several years, it was changed and transformed to what's called the Disney Institute. The Disney Institute still exists in some form as some sort of an online course, but the Disney Institute essentially was a combination of experiences and classes and courses you can take through Disney. You could have taken through Disney while staying at this resort. The Disney Institute was the, I guess I'll use the word brainchild of Michael Eisner, one of the former CEOs of the Walt Disney World Company. Anyway, he was inspired by a vacation that he took with his family. He opened it, he opened some unique things during his tenure, I will say that, including the Disney Institute in 1996, okay? The thing is, it was not super successful. It did not make a ton of money, according to things that I've read. So it shuttered shortly thereafter in the early 2000s. And after that, this place was revamped into Saratoga Springs Resort, a Disney Vacation Club resort, into what is now today. So that's why it sort of has that sort of mix of golf course and conference center type feel. It's very spread out, and there's lots of things to do here that are unique, and that's because of its interesting history compared to other Disney World resorts. Another thing worth mentioning is that another piece of this resort, outside of those 5 areas that I discussed earlier in the video, the Treehouse Villas, are also part of this resort. They're the Treehouse Villas at Saratoga Springs Resort. They have their separate entrance, but you can also get to them through walking trails. There's tons of walking trails around here. Those opened, I believe, in 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And yeah, they just sort of add another layer and another piece to this already pretty extensive resort. So in the future, when you hear Treehouse Villas, that's also referencing Saratoga Springs Resort. So I'm standing in front of the Turf Club right here. Nice directory over here, and if you look in this direction, there is a boat dock on the Sassagoula River right here. The boats are not running right now, but you can board and get to Disney Springs or get to the Port Orleans resorts, as I've showed you in other videos, or to Old Key West. And I will show you right now on this path, you can also walk to Old Key West. So let's check that out. All right, here is this walking trail. Good views of Disney Springs and the golf course right here. You'll see this bridge right here. Nice Mickey touch right there. And if you just follow this walkway, you can explore all the way to Old Key West. In this video, I'm not gonna go all the way to Old Key Resort because I'm gonna focus this on Saratoga Springs. But what I wanted to tell you are two things. One, I just spoke with a cast member and he gave me a bit of insight. And he also told me a fun fact. One, he said this walkway trail right here behind me that goes in that direction, that's the one to Old Key West. There is not a lot of signage, according to him, and it may not seem like you are on the way to Old Key West, but he said if you follow the trail that's nearest the water, you will eventually get to Old Key West. The second piece of insight that he told me is that when you are here at Saratoga Springs, according to him, you will not see any palm trees the way you will a lot of other Disney resorts, because Michael Eisner's wife, the former CEO, his wife said there should not be any palm trees in a resort that is themed to upstate New York, which, as we know now, Saratoga Springs is themed to upstate New York. So there's your fun fact. Just underneath the Turf Club, you will find this pro shop for Lake Buena Vista Golf Course here at Saratoga Springs. You can rent the things you need to golf there, and also there's lots of unique merchandise if you're interested. Just next door to that is Chippendale's Cafe. It's a walk-up window serving food that's normally open between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. So behind me is the Springs section of the villas where you can actually stay. And then behind me is the Disney Vacation Club Preview Center. I'm trying to show you this because from here, you can make your way over to Congress Park. And Congress Park is the section of the resort that is the closest to Disney Springs. So whether you're staying at the Congress Park or not, you can use this walkway in front of the DVC Preview Center to get to Disney Springs. But if you are staying at Congress Park, you can get to Disney Springs even faster through a really quick walkway. Let me show you that. Okay, so we are right here. There's all the Carriage House and all the things to do that I've already showed you. There's the Springs section of the villas to stay in. We're on this trail making our way to Congress Park, and Disney Springs is over here, the walkway and the boat dock. This is the boat dock that'll take you on the Sassagoula River to the Port Orleans Resort and Old Key West Resort. And for reference, you see some of these units behind me. Well, if you're standing here, you'll see them. This is actually a long area called the Paddock. Way back there is the Carousel. The entrance is actually right here. It sort of splits through the resort to get to the Carriage House, and just next to that is the Grandstand area. And then way over here are the Treehouse Villas. Those are closest to Old Key West and the Port Orleans resorts. Right here is the Congress Park area. As you will see, these buildings are all detached. There are exterior entryways and hallways to get to the rooms. I know some people may not enjoy that as much on a vacation. They all kind of look the same throughout, same color scheme. It says Congress Park. And here's a look at what these buildings look like from the inside. And there are some helpful elevators, FYI. All right, on the other side of Congress Park, you have this great view of Disney Springs. You can get to Disney Springs through a walkway closer to the Carriage House and the Grandstand sections of the resort, or you could follow this way to find a dedicated walkway where you don't have to cut through a long parking lot over there to the right. But yeah, you have a great view of Disney Springs, and it looks like one of the steamboats is out, the Sassagoula steamboat. They were not running yesterday due to the high levels of the water. Okay, so in the center of Congress Park, you're gonna find one of the leisure pools. There are several scattered around the different areas around Saratoga Springs. So what that means is outside of the Carriage House and the high rock spring pool area, there are other pools. They're gonna be much less crowded, a little smaller in scale, but there's still a ton to do. Got a good view of Disney Springs. a decent sized leisure pool. There's some activities. There's a family yoga session that we would love to go to once our youngest is a little bit older. And then here is the rest of the courtyard here at Congress Park. There's also a barbecue pit area right here. Have a nice little picnic, have your own food, save some money, enjoy the resort. One awesome thing about Congress Park is that it has the only playground available all around Saratoga Springs Resort. Here's a look at the playground. I really like the color scheme. There's enough activities for the kids to do, and I think that it is in a great location. My kids absolutely cannot get enough of it, and it is, again, here in Congress Park, the only playground around all of Saratoga Springs Resort. So make sure you check this out if you have little ones. On the other end of the buildings, you will find a quick walkway that takes you directly to Disney Springs. It is easy to navigate and does not take very long. And as you can see here, it is stroller friendly. You can get from here to Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter, to another stop actually in front of Saratoga Springs by the Carriage House, and to Old Key West. Got to pay attention to those flags. They're not operating right now for whatever reason, but usually it's just a quick trip to those other resorts that I named. And then the walkway to Saratoga continues right here. To get back to the resort from Disney Springs, all you need to do is follow the signs. The walkway technically closes at dusk, so if it's a little on the later side, all you have to do is walk along the water and you can find your way back to the resort. So because I am committed to the bit, carrying around my handy dandy map, I am going to take you from Congress Park to the Paddock, because we have not explored that yet, and to show you the pool and some of the dining options there. So let's go. From Congress Park, what I'm going to do is cross this street right here and head into the Paddock area, which sort of wraps around the springs. If you look to my left, there is the DVC Preview Center, which means you're next to the Carriage House. Let's check it out. So essentially, the outer sort of rim on this section of the resort called the Paddock, which neighbors, it looks like Union Avenue, consists of the Paddock. And what the Paddock is basically kind of circles one side of the springs. So you're not too far from Congress Park on one end of the Paddock, and you're not too far from the springs or the Carousel on the other side. So it's kind of a long strip of villas. Think of it that way. I think this looks pretty unique. I haven't seen little statues like this in other courtyards. This is in the Paddock section of the resort. Pretty interesting. Like I said, there's light horse racing theming throughout. It's not overbearing, light touches. Yeah, there's another waterway that way. The parking just beyond the villas. And then I have another directory. Luckily, they are everywhere. Just across this water right here is the Springs section of the villas. That is a pretty cool view right there. That's how close we are to Disney Springs. The hot air balloon is right there. I might mention this in a sort of a conclusion section of the video. It is very spread out, but if you drive here, if you rent a car or take your own car, it's actually really convenient because once you find your location of where your room is, you can park right outside of it and go to and from with all of your things without having to worry about bell services or check in with valet. Or let's say if you're at the boardwalk and the way it's designed, while nice, your car is going to be really, really far away from your actual room. So something to consider. I know it's outdoor and they kind of look like apartments, but there are some advantages logistically speaking. So this bridge right here takes you between the Paddock and the Springs section of the villas, but also of course you can get to the Carriage House really quickly if you take this walkway. I'm gonna go further down to the Carousel section first, and then I'll take that bridge to show you what it's like. So if you know me, you know I can get in my head a bit and sometimes be nervous about how I look out here vlogging, especially when it's such a already popular community here, the Disney community. But someone just passed me by and they gave me a high five and they're like, "Are you a vlogger?" I said, "Yeah, I have a small channel." And they were like, "Keep going, keep doing it. That is so awesome." Sometimes you just need to hear that. So I'm here at the Paddock. I want to show you the pool area because this is probably the second biggest pool area, and they have a really big kids aquatic area to play in. So it's something to consider if you want to swim somewhere other than the High Rock Spring pool over there by the Carriage House. All right, this is an awesome aquatic center. We're definitely going to bring the kids here. Again, this is at the Paddock. What's unique about this area is that the Paddock Grill has a full kitchen, so it serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, unlike the On the Rocks poolside bar next to High Rock Spring Pool. Here's another look at the pool. Note that the slide you're about to see is actually longer than the slide at the High Rock Spring Pool. Here's a look at the bus stop. There are bathrooms here, and you could find laundry services. This place is really impressive, especially as what is essentially the secondary pool. Here we have the High Rock Spring Pool by the Carriage House. This place has a huge slide, a bigger aquatic center than what's over there at the High Rock Spring Pool. There's the Paddock Grill, a place to eat. Just over this fence is a bus stop, and there are restrooms, a laundry station, and just a lot of things for you to do here. So really consider either staying in the Paddock if you can't get the springs, or coming out over here during your stay to get the kids and yourself a little more fun at a second pool. From this part of the Paddock where there's the bridge to the springs, I'm gonna take a right to get to the Carousel section of the villas. Let me show you that real quick. Here's another look at that awesome slide. You can see the Paddock Grill through here. I can show you that. There's really a lot to do here. Just some thoughts as I'm walking. I don't mind walking on the resort. I will say I'm by myself right now. I don't have my children. If they were with me, obviously we'd be at a slower pace. It'd be a little more difficult if we were trying to get to the theme parks and to the different bus stops. It would definitely change the experience, because on this particular trip, we're not doing as many theme parks. So if you need to move a lot quicker, getting to and from the rooms to the various bus stops could take some time. So that's also something to consider in terms of the type of trip you're having and how much time you're spending at the theme parks. All right, let's check where we're at again. I am now right here, still in the Paddock area, close to the Carousel, not too far from the Grandstand. The Carousel looks to be the smallest section of the park. Let's go ahead and check that out. Lots of places to let your kids run and play. If you're traveling with little ones, all these little courtyards, they're not super populated, as I'm learning. It is kind of early in the day, but there's a lot of little places to explore and let them get their energy out, which as a parent, especially to young ones, you know that is very important. So from the very furthest northwestern facing section of the Paddock, you cross over right here to get to the Carousel. So essentially the Carousel is this far tip of the resort. I don't see on the map a pool here, not a ton to do. Now, pro, that could be really peaceful and quiet. A con, it's kind of far from a lot of things, and it's actually near the resort entrance. So let's give a quick peek at how this looks over here. Now remember, this side of the park is this side of the resort is called the Carousel, and so they have this carousel themed picnic area that you've probably seen before in online videos if you are in the Disney community. So if you were curious, they're located in the, unsurprisingly, the Carousel section of Saratoga Springs. All right, so I'm way up here. The last section we need to explore of Saratoga Springs specifically is the Grandstand. There's also the Treehouse Villas. They're kind of a separate thing, but they're also connected to Saratoga Springs in a way. All right, from the tip of the Carousel, there's Disney Springs in the distance. There's the Carriage House. There's the entrance to the resort. And I'm making my way to the Grandstand. Let's check it out. All right, I found the right path, Avenue of the Pines. Let's see how fast it takes to get there. This is a spread out resort. I'm definitely getting my steps in today. See little Mickey details on the golf course. If you golf and like Disney, this must be the perfect place because you can literally do both. All right, so from right here, from this pathway, there is the sidewalk ends on this side of the street, so you got to cross if you're walking. There is the bus stop to the Grandstand section of the park, of the resort. I keep saying park. Let's make our way through. Got some cool details right here. A nice open courtyard with the golf course in the back. And we're making our way because there is a pool here and I want to show y'all that. Okay, so this side of the Grandstand, further on the east side, is where most of the amenities are. And check out this pavilion. All the reds and whites. It's got a little quirk. And check out this pool. That's pretty cool. All right, so one thing about this section is it's got some really cool classic designs. It says Saratoga right here. There's this water feature with these horses and then one leisure pool over there on that side. Isn't that cool? So if you want to see this, you kind of work for it and come all the way out here to the grandstand. But I like it. And this is where you could find backstretch bar, in case you were wondering. It says open seasonally. And here's an idea. Saratoga spring wrap, or turkey wrap, a hot dog, Caesar salad. I don't see any hours here right now. But yeah, it's here at the grandstand. So if you're looking for some food and stuff, you can get some over here in this area. Look at this theming, I like this. The horse with the Mickey. Got some restrooms over here. And laundry, in case you need it. Alrighty, so I explored the pool here at the grandstand. It is actually pretty close to the Carriage House because the pool is on the eastern section of this resort. So it's actually a pretty short walkway to the Carriage House and therefore all the amenities and things to do next to the lobby. What I want to show you lastly is this trail to get you to the Treehouse Villas here at Saratoga Springs. These were opened in 2009. They're probably one of the most unique places to stay here at Disney World. Highly sought after, highly expensive, similar to the bungalows at the Polynesian, for example, that sort of sit above Seven Su's Lagoon. But there's a walkway from the grandstand that you can get to the Treehouse Villas, and I could see the Sasagula River and one of the boats going by to the Port Orleans Resort in Old Key West, so I know I'm on the right track. Let's check it out. So we're on the right track. There's a sign for the Treehouse Villas. Oh, now this is Disney right here, for those of us nerds. There is one of the boats on the Sasagula River, running from between Port Orleans or Old Key West and going to Saratoga or Disney Springs. All right, I gotta get back to the kids. There's the walkway to the Treehouse Villas. Super, super quick, super, super easy. Awesome. All right, so there's the walkway. At the very, very edge, you can see the Treehouse Villas. I've been walking out here for a bit to get in on this review. I'm gonna show you how to get back to the Carriage House and wrap this thing up. There's a really helpful sign letting you know how to get to Saratoga Springs from the Treehouse Villas. Again, this is the grandstand section of the park. Let's walk our way back. So I'm back on the other side of the grandstand. The pool at the grandstand is just behind me. On the opposite end is where you get to the Treehouse Villas. And I want to show you this quick little walkway and how fast you can get to the Carriage House. Here's the entryway. And you just take a quick right up this really peaceful trail. To the right are the villas. Just in front of you is the golf course. All right, that wraps it up on my review. We're back here right in front of the Carriage House, as I showed you earlier. I really like this resort. It's really spread out. It's really unique. It is not the most flashy resort, but it has a lot of unique touches and a really unique history. And so if you are considering somewhere a little, I don't want to say off the beaten path, but a little less flashy, like the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, or one of the Epcot area resorts, this is something to consider. I think it flies under the radar, and I understand why. But there's a lot of unique things here. Good food, good sized rooms, a good location if you're looking for Disney Springs and a couple of other things that are not theme park focused. I hope you enjoyed this thorough walkthrough. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts about this resort, leave them in the comments, and please consider subscribing. Thanks.